Yay.
Mhm.
All right, great. Well, welcome all to Coach Jacksonville. And this is the, what is it, December 8th meeting. Um, and um, and Coach Jacksonville, that's where we discuss what's the best practices, how do you create a coaching practice, how we can all refer to each other. And so and the main thing is I learn from each and every one of you every time I have one of these. So every time I attend, I get so much more information. So I love it. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Uh, what um, I think what we should do is do some self introduction so that we'll know who's in the room and what's going on in your world. So if each of you could introduce yourself, I would appreciate it.
Sure.
I think it'd also be good to say what is outstanding right now in your world. So Jan, can we start with you?
Okay. Well, I'm Jan Lipsky. I'm a coach in Northeast Florida, Jacksonville, and I started my own company in 2019, Jan Lipsky Coaching LLC. Had about 4 or so years of coaching prior to that, so about 5 years altogether since I was in my healthcare career, nursing and HR, where I also got to coach people in an internal way. What's outstanding is I'm in a ACTP program, which is another acronym for us today. It's accredited coach training program, and I'm in the first cohort of a ACTP program put on by Envision Evolution, Jennifer Vogel. And it's been fabulous. I started in August and it finishes up December 23rd. We're coaching each other, we're coaching other people. We have to turn in recordings. We're getting mentoring and feedback, lots of reading, lots of knowledge to prepare us for ICF, the International Coach Federation's Coach Knowledge Assessment Exam and application for the ACC or PCC, depending on the numbers of hours you might have. And I probably would be ACC level hours wise. But that's what's happening with me.
Excellent. Good. I love it. Good.
Thank
Uh, Ed, you just muted yourself. You can unmute yourself and
Hi, everyone. I'm Ed Chang. My company is called My Career Assist. We do group and also individual career facilitation. And I say facilitation because we kind of bleed through both coaching and counseling. And let's see, I've been doing this for officially with the LLC for about 18 months, but I've done it informally throughout my career for about 6 years. I worked in manufacturing companies as a supply chain leader, and the idea sprouted when my mentor told me to give back to my reporting team something more than just a supervisor direct report relationship. And so I had no clue what to give them. And so I surveyed all of my direct reports over a period of 2 years, and they didn't know it, but they helped inspire a career development framework that we currently use.
hmm,
And so the pandemic has been very tough for everyone, especially us. But we have pivoted, and while we will work with individuals, and we will work with individuals at deeply discounted pricing, our focus and our mission is to reach organizations, whether it would be corporations, academic institutions, or government entities. And our mission is to integrate our career development framework into talent management processes within organizations. We feel that our structure enables all individuals to self-select their career goals, and really then enables them to derive a very special, specific career development plan based on their career goals. So it seems to be very complementary because,
you.
as we've learned, talent management processes and programs lack structure, or they, not all, but many in medium to small corporations, they lack the structure that a fundamental, robust career development program possesses. So that's where we are, and we've had very small amounts of business revenue, but we're very close to landing a pretty significant contract with a bank and also with a local business, Medtronic.
Good. So your main target is are companies, corporations, or are they individuals?
No, it's going to be organizations. That's correct. Not individuals benefit, right? They're the users, but the clients or the customers who pay our organization. So right now we're because we're so young, we're pursuing two segments, which could be dangerous. We're pursuing corporations and also academic institutions.
Okay. Great. Okay, good. I may have more questions, but maybe I'll get those offline. Good. How about Lindley, since you are here at the meeting?
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindley Newbold, and my company is a connective coach. I started it kind of like with Edward because of what I used to do. It allowed me to incorporate that into my coaching, which is behavior modification. I've worked with children in public schools from the age of 5 up till 85, whatever the age. And I guess basically, I've even worked for a company because within the company, there was a struggle between subordinates and supervisors. So they brought me in to work with the people on an individual basis rather than a whole company. But I did do training for them. I did the diversity training when that was a big thing. So it's basically working with people to help modify whatever obstacle is in their way to move forward, whether it's personal or professional. But mostly I have adults that they just don't know how to get around with their kids. Like my neighbor I just said hi, and my neighbor said, he hopes his kids, because I said to the little boy, I said, wow, you guys are really decorating for Santa Claus to come. And the father said, yeah, if their behavior would just change. So I said, behavior. So I think I'm going to go back and give them one of my cards to let them know if you'd like to do behavior modification with the kids, I can do that, and they can bring them to my house, because we live just 2 blocks from each other. So I always see them when I'm out walking, doing my little exercise. But basically, that's what I'm doing: exercising as much as possible, riding my bike or walking my 3 miles, and just because I'm totally retired. So if business comes in, I'm fine. If business doesn't come in, I'm okay too. But I do like working one-on-one with people. It's just more rewarding for me because I get to share, myself as well. And that kind of like opens it up for them to want to do some work with the suggestions that I make. So that's what a connective coach does, connects with people.
Beautiful. Well put. Thank you. Carmen, how about you, Carmen?
Okay, I'm Carmen Rivera. I am in the Daytona Beach metro area. That's where I'm physically now. I have my own firm, like I think all of us do. And I started mine in 1986. It was called Applied Training International. So it's been running for 30 some odd years, 35, 36 years. And in 2001, when I moved down to Florida and the beginning of the new century, I decided to change the name to New Insights, which is where I go by now. And the reason for that was that Applied Training International was focused primarily on trainings. And I still do trainings. I still do trainings for companies and corporations. And I've traveled all over the country and the world doing them. But in 2001, I took a training, a coaching program, which is one of the ones that ICF accredits, and it was called New Field Network. So I went through, I think what Jan is going through, and so it was a 9-month program on coaching. And so I'm certified with ICF as a coach since 2001, but I still do trainings. similar to Lindley, I'm not completely retired. I'm semi-retired. I've been retiring for several years, but I still keep doing it. So what I do is the trainings that I do are, the clients are corporations. The coaching that I do, the individuals are the ones who I coach. And I coach life coaching, basically when people get stuck and they want to move on forward. And I focus on joy. So I focus on creating happiness in your life.
Yeah.
And in anywhere aspects of your life. Recently, I did a webinar for a company that is a training company that I've been working with for 31 years. And so I did a webinar that was attended by about 400 people worldwide. It was on diversity. And if you all want to see it, it's on YouTube. I can give you the link later. I'll pass it on to Doug, and Doug can pass it on. Caroline can pass it on. So I did this webinar for 45 minutes and then 15 minutes of questions and answers. And I left 15 minutes because this were, of course, a lot of questions. And one of the things that I like to do is answer the questions as quickly, as thoroughly as possible. Because one of my pet peeves is when people say, oh, we'll leave it at the end for questions. And then they have a long answer. So they only get to one or two questions. So if we've run out of time, thank you for all your questions. I wanted to be able to answer as many questions as I could. And I had quite a few within that 15-minute period. So I did that. And I'm also, I wrote a diversity training program, which I've yet to deliver, but I did it for another company. And we've got some schedules out there to deliver it, probably online. But I was just going to check with the company if they hadn't any registrants for those scheduled courses. So what I'm focusing on now is the diversity. I'm going to still do the diversity trainings. It is my passion. I did a lot of it for 10 years in the 90s. Lindley, you remember that's when it was a lot of companies were out there getting that done. And now I think it's coming back. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm focusing on emotional intelligence training. And basically, that's it. I don't need to, I've turned down work. You know, if I feel like it, I'll take you. If I don't feel like it, I don't need to work. I work because it's my passion to change the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's where I am. And when I write articles, not as often as I would like to, but I do write articles and put them up on my website. It's usually about 2 a year, which is very different than my intention was going to be 1 a month. So I do about 2 a year. Just when the mood strikes me and the idea comes to me, then I will, do that. So that I don't feel like I have to write just because I don't write for deadlines. I write when I'm inspired.
Carmen, what is your website?
Newinsightsinc.biz.
Okay.
I will put it up in the chat as well. Okay, newinsightsinc.biz. And of course, Caroline was the wonderful web designer. I've had it designed several times over the 15 years I've had a website. But the latest one is really nice. And, it has a page called New Insights Living Blog. And that's where I post the articles. And the last one was The Lightness of Being. And the one before that was dealing with anger, I think. I don't remember. I think it was anger. So anyway, that's who I am.
I love it. That's joyous. Yeah, very inspirational, Carmen, as always.
Thank you.
Barbara Trapp.
Here, unmuted. Oh, and this is a sparkling water, just in case. So I'm Barbara Trapp. I'm a certified professional organizer and productivity coach. I'm not a certified coach yet, but I'm hoping to earn a certified productivity coaching, those letters next year. We'll see. So a lot of what I've been doing lately, I've been totally virtual since mid-March, like a lot of people, and I have been helping people get organized virtually. One of my clients her father passed away last year and left 2 estates, one in South Florida and one in Asheville, North Carolina, and helped her do kind of project management, helping her vet contractors and figure out what to do first, second, third. And she got one sold a couple months ago, and the other one is supposed to close this week. So the virtual organizing is working. So got the house cleared out. And another thing I've been doing is helping small business owners kind of get organized behind the scenes. I have an HR background, process-based leadership background. And so that entails helping them figure out the structure of their organization, what positions they need, who does what, and how well, and also get those business owners to get their schedules figured out, time blocked for the week. I've had one client who's probably in line for a CEO position in a couple years, but she still has people in and out constantly, and she kind of runs her schedule by the people coming in and out of her office and her email. And to say that's not going to get you very far. We need to structure this, and helping her kind of plan her weekly meetings with her direct reports. So it's, you know, organizing just kind of covers a lot of things. So my company is Zen Your Den, and also Zen Your Biz. And one of my goals this fall was to have be on a guest on 4 podcasts by the end of right before Thanksgiving, and I did make that. So they're coming out, and I've been slowly putting those out in my to my email list and on my Facebook page. And also, I'm going to be have a guest spot taped on First Coast Living tomorrow. And that's going to be exciting. And it was interesting. What they asked me to do is they want to interview me about goal setting and preparing for 2021, how we can manage the expectations of our new normal. I hate that term. And what we can do to stick to our goals, how we can stay productive, and somehow I'm going to cram that into like 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, I learned the last time that this is my my 4th time with them. This is the 2nd virtual. And so I know now I need to leave a little space because it's going to be really short. And then the
Barbara, is
big
it
thing,
TV? Is it TV or is it radio?
yeah, it's
TV?
TV.
Okay.
First Coast Living, they've been virtual though since I think March or April as well. So they're all recording from home too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot less stressful than going into the studio with lights and cameras and waiting. And
Yeah. Yes,
this is much less, you know, stressful. So, and then I'm planning for a free webinar called Revisioning with Vision Boards. That's next Tuesday at 7 p.m. It's free. It is going to, at the end, promote a 3-session vision board workshop in January, which is going to start with values and needs assessments, and then move into the creative part, and then how we make those things come true. So last I looked, I had about 120 signups. So I'm excited about that. And as soon as we get off this call, I'm going to put the link on my website. I just realized that's one place it isn't. It's not right on my page. So, but I put a virtual chat invitation, virtual coffee invitation in the chat. So if you want to connect with me, let's schedule a coffee.
Sounds good.
Excellent. First Coast Living, which channel is that?
It's 12, and it's,
Well, that's what I thought.
yeah,
Okay.
Hattie Dejamal, and then Curtis Dvorak. And Curtis was the original Jackson DeVille mascot for the
Oh, yeah,
Jaguars
yeah,
for like
yeah.
17 years.
Yeah.
So it looks like he and Hattie have a show together. And it looks like Hattie's going to be interviewing me again. So yeah,
Excellent.
I don't know when it's going to
Great.
show up, but fun time.
Yes. Good for you. Excellent. Brian, let's hear from you.
Yeah, a little my power went off, so hopefully it actually works out here. So we'll see what happens and keep back on again. But last time we guys talked, and last time I talked with Doug, I was in big change. I had been working for the USO for 2 years and left them in March to go work for an organization called Flightstar. You know, basically be their military programs person. And I was in their job for about 3 days, and they sent me home to work, remotely. And then within 3 weeks, they said, "Hey, we're going to furlough you." So, long story short, started looking for another job and came up with an awesome opportunity through a local organization. Actually, they're local here, but they have stores in 27 locations on the East Coast, and the organization is called Campers in RV. And I'm working for them as their performance and leadership and development coach. So I'm helping their GMs, their service people, all that, to help them with their leadership, their performance, helping them get more performance from their people. And we use a program through an organization called Spader. I'm not sure if any of you heard them before, but Spader is a organization that helps a lot of big ticket sales type organizations in a lot of different areas. And they have a program called Prodaptive, which really looks at looking at a situation and kind of breaking it down in is it favorable or unfavorable situation, and what's the type of what caused the situation, and from that you're able to help the leader break it down and hopefully give some better coaching and leading from that perspective. So it's really it's been a neat program. I've been working with a coach by the name of Michael O'Connor, and he's been doing this for a long time, and I'm actually being coached by him. So I'm really excited about that and learning a lot. So it's kind of this is actually like almost a 3-year process of me being coached by him to help the organization. And I love the organization because they really bought into the managing by values, kind of organization. And I'm also going to be working not only coaching, but also working with their performance management program, helping their folks utilize it to its fullest and be able to give some good coaching back to their people through that program. And then I'll also be doing training, disc training, hiring training, a lot of other things. I'll be working as the main trainer for the organization once I get up to speed on those topics. So a lot of exciting things. I'm loving it, and look forward to growing in this position as the next couple of years go through here. So excited for that.
Perfect for you. That sounds perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
and I would love to hear maybe somewhere future, Doug. Jan is in the course to get certified. I know this is a question, but I would love to hear some thoughts on some ways to get certified through a ICF body, something like that. Maybe Jan and I could talk too, but I would love to hear more about that and where some suggestions on where to get the training and stuff like that down the road. I don't know if that's something you all want to talk about, but
Absolutely. Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be good to talk about. Matter of fact, why don't we just devote a whole meeting to classes, certifications, education, where to get it, and all the ramifications of it. That'd be a great idea. Good, thanks,
Yeah.
Brian. And congratulations to you. It's exciting
Yeah.
to have you land on your feet again and start running.
Yeah, it's been a good opportunity, and I'm excited for the road ahead. So it's good.
Yeah, good, excellent. Caroline, why don't we hear from you?
Hi, we're doing a lot of really exciting stuff here. We're working ongoing with our Wilder Wisdom subscription, which I've put a link in the chat for you guys if you're interested in looking at. There's a free level that gets some really great content with it. And then there's a free trial for a month of the $5 level, which includes a weekly Wilder Wisdom Wednesday video from Doug, which those are really fun to put together. And then we're doing some fun stuff that I think Doug is going to talk a little bit about with putting out some possible mugs for potential clients and things. That's we're working on. And then on a separate, I guess, more personal, my other job with as the youth leader and I guess all kind of every Jack person, we are working on some exciting stuff for a COVID safe Christmas that I'm excited for, having people at home with whatever they have put together with towels and stuff, their own home nativity, and sending videos in. And so I'm really excited about some of these new things with.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Caroline. Excellent. And just to say that it's very exciting having Caroline there, because when I think about how far I've come in the last year and a half she's been here, it's just amazing. For years, I've had clients that would say, "Gosh, Doug, your notebook's terrific." Except, yeah, it's so plain. Now it's got pretty colors and everything. Every page is beautiful. Look at that. I mean, can you believe it? Mine never looked that way. So Caroline continues to amaze me and our clients. So it's just terrific. One of the things we're working on right now is a mug to give as a Christmas gift. For 27 years now, this month, I've been coaching, and I really haven't. From time to time, I've given out gifts, Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, but really not in an organized way. So I've now decided to give out some mugs, and it's not going to say the world's greatest coach on there, because I'm not sure that would be appropriate to give those out. But so we're looking at what the wording might be, and what we came up with yesterday is with Caroline's wordsmithing. So I want to say what we're going to do, and then you can maybe give me some feedback if you think that fits with the image we're trying to portray. And and I'll read it to you. It says, today's problems big. So today's problems are merely challenges, not yet converted into opportunities. And then on the back side, it'll say, find a new perspective, Doug Wilder, wildersuccess.com. Do you think that conveys the message? I'm getting some nods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like it.
All right.
Yeah, I'd make Wilder Success as big as you can.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I think it's just great. I mean, especially I think of, okay, let's have Wilder Success in 2020 for sure.
Right.
Well,
But
I'm
Okay.
thinking-
just
I'm
make it
thinking
bigger.
You want to do that, but I give it some thought, edit it shorter. You don't want too
Even
much
shorter.
work. Make it shorter. You want to get the message across in like 3 or 4 words. Otherwise, it should people should be able to read it instantly and get the
Right.
message. So,
Yes.
that's what came to mind. The message is there, but how can I get it so it becomes like,
Yeah,
Type.
the challenge we have there is we don't want it to be like an ad. So we don't want it,
Yeah.
which ads are really easy to shorten down into like 5 words. Because we don't want it to just be a promotional thing. We want it to be kind of inspiring.
you can-
But to shorten it and for it not to be something somebody else has already said or something
Yes.
that's really cliche is the challenge
Yeah.
we've been hitting.
And
I like the message.
talking about the
I
front,
do.
the back with the name and,
Oh,
whatever
okay.
the second part. Yes, that's it. I'm talking about the inspirational quote
Yes.
part of the front.
So the 3 words that are important, Carmen, are problems equal challenges equal opportunities. The difficulty we have there is that if we were to spread those out, problems equal challenges equal now it's long,
Yes, yeah.
which means we have to make it small, or if we could say problems equal, but how do you say equal and in a symbol
Doug,
going down?
I know you're limited when you get mugs imprinted, but I just wonder if you could take those 3 words, I mean, keep it all, but just get those 3 words in your logo color so they stand out.
Yeah. That's
I know
the-
it's a hard thing with, you have
Yeah.
limitations with the colors. I like your whole idea. I'm just thinking that brings in
Right.
your logo and emphasizes the words.
So what is it that you have again? Say it again. Say what you have.
Today's problems are merely challenges, not yet converted into opportunities.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a great thing. And if you could fit, I just want to make sure that, but I like you can keep that and then highlight the words by putting them in a different color, like Barbara's saying.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. We'll see what happens. We got to make a decision today in order to get them back before Christmas.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
All right, great. Thank you very much. While we're at it, Caroline, we should take a picture of everybody.
Yes. So I'll give you guys a countdown. You don't have to smile just yet. I'll start the countdown and then look into your camera. That's the important part. Don't look down here on the screen. Look up here at the camera
Thank you.
and
saying
give
that
us
to
a
me, guys.
smile. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Let's see, what else? Any announcements that you all have that besides, you've already told me about some of the things that we should be looking for, some of the seminars and workshops and articles we should read. Anything else?
Amazing.
Oh yeah, I'll be a little selfish. If Carmen and Lindley wants to reject job offers, I'll take them.
Yeah.
True. Refer to all of us. Sure.
Yeah.
I may not be qualified for their field, but
That's the way it works. When I started back,
Yeah.
and I don't want to mention, I've been doing this for over 50 years. So, that's why I'm slowing down. I started my company in '86, but I've been doing this for a long time. And it was all through referrals. That's how you grow.
Right,
Mhm.
that's good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
Not
found
as many
two of my
people
jobs.
refer organizing. Not
I
everybody
found-
wants to know they have an organizer.
Madeline Feinstein, she referred me to Jack's Federal Credit Union, and that's how I did the diversity training and working with the people that had problems. So yeah, referrals
Wow.
is excellent. Yeah, that was 2 jobs for me.
Good.
Great, great. Yes, I've sent out several referrals to resume writers. Eddie, you don't do resume writing, do you?
no, I do not.
Okay, so I referred out several particularly because of the Steinmart closing, which is a client of
Right.
mine. Steinmart was a client of mine.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And so with their going under or bankruptcy,
Mhm.
and by the way, they had stopped working with me about a year before, or stopped paying me. So actually over a year. So that, I'm not saying that's the reason they went bankrupt, but time means everything, right?
No, that's why they stopped paying you, because they were going bankrupt.
That's true.
Uh,
That was a
So
I missed them. So,
yes,
Yeah.
it was my favorite place to shop, because I knew I was getting some of it back. Great. Any other announcements?
Hey Doug, while we were just talking, I was thinking about the words you were talking about, problems or challenges that equal opportunity.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like what I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. But
Okay, you can.
put it closer.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, emphasizing the words.
Problems or challenges that equal opportunity. Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Great. Thank you very much. And as a matter of fact, if you can hold that up one more time like you just did, and I'm gonna take a picture of it.
Yeah, close to the camera.
Can you pin just her video, Doug? That'll blow it up.
Yeah,
That'll blow it up. Yep,
problems
that's
or
right.
challenges. Yeah.
How does that work?
So there's a function in Zoom where you can just
Speaker view, you just click speaker view, and then
Oh.
Doug,
All
you
right.
can click that at the top right.
All right, so
And then
Lindley,
you'll
you
see
need
her.
to speak.
Okay,
Lindley, you need to
talk.
speak now.
gotta stop talking.
Hold it up and talk, Lindley.
oh, okay.
There
Yeah,
it is.
I was thinking if you can wrap that.
Great.
around the call.
I got it.
Got
I
it?
got it.
Okay.
All right. Yep. I'm back on gallery view myself. Okay, good.
I also
Excellent.
got it
Oh, good. Thanks, Caroline.
several times over.
Oh, I have a random comment. I've been doing so many meetings. Everybody has over Zoom. A couple weeks I had over 17 Zoom meetings, sessions, appointments. I'm getting a standing desk this work, so I'll let you know how that goes. But
Yeah.
I just can't sit anymore.
Yeah.
I'll be on a, next time we talk, I'll be on a rocker board with at a standing desk. So
Cool.
we'll see what happens. Yep.
That's great.
The problems we have, gosh.
I know.
I know.
Oh, that's great. Good. Well, one of the topics we want to talk about is how do you make 2021 outstanding? And one is maybe the
By
furniture.
standing.
Standing.
That's right.
Oh, that was
That's
just
right.
there. I had to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so I'm one of the things that I looked at was retreats, and how do you do that for clients? How do you set up a retreat for your clients, as well as how do you set up a retreat for yourself? And every year I need to be reminded to do this, to really take the time out to think about what is my 2021 going to look like. And so I'm suggesting all my clients do this, and I'm certainly suggesting that all the coaches do it also. And part of that may be, one of the things I found works well is in setting up the retreat is have an agenda. And one of the things I normally do is give to my clients an agenda, smorgasbord, sort of like a selection of different concepts that we can talk about. And Caroline can put up, I'm going to put this, what my thought is, and here's okay, everybody see that coming up on the screen. You're going to see the agenda, and I'm going to move this over so I can still see everybody. I like to split my screen so I can still get everybody on gallery view. Okay, so here's the New Year retreat agenda that I find works pretty well. And then I just give this to my potential clients and say, okay, which ones of these do you want to talk about? And normally they want to talk about, the first one is this last year, 2020. Oh, usually we say, what were the 5 things that the firm did well and could be continued? And what are the 5 things that the firm didn't do well and could be improved upon? And I just find in a group setting that works really well, because everybody then writes down their 5 and then they share, depending on how big the group is. And then everybody comes back and then they write down the top 5 things to continue to do. Sometimes it's by a department, we'll come up with the ideas, and sometimes it's by individuals, and sometimes it's for the whole company. So, and then from there we go into, usually the next one is, what's your vision and goals for the ideal future? And we usually start several years out, 2025, 2024, all the way to 2021. And that way we start getting that bigger perspective. We often look at the firm's mission, so everybody's pulling in the same direction. And as I'm saying this is way too many for one retreat, by the way. Yeah. And so we just pick the ones that are going to be a good fit. The functional organization chart and staffing for the future. Sometimes that's important. Marketing strategies. A lot of clients find that important. Some of them don't. So we look at, the 5 different strategies that I have, but yeah. So then back at the other column, Sometimes it's happy clients. How do we have happy clients? Delegating effectively is really pretty important, particularly in this Zoom economy, Zoom operations, because are you delegating effectively becomes an important part for most people. And I have a whole 6, the formula is 6 different criteria for delegating effectively. Time management, huge one these days. So we go through a lot of different concepts there, including how to stop procrastination. That's usually a favorite one. Employee engagement survey, and I'm going over these quickly so that we can have a discussion over them. Employee engagement survey. So are your employees engaged? Improving communication, the different styles, communication styles. Doug's de-stress tools. So we get a lot of requests for that, particularly from the staff. When I'm working with lawyers, the lawyers want to know how to market effectively. The paralegals and all the staff, they want to know about how to de-stress. So I don't know why that is. Creating a culture of happiness is another item that is often requested. Developing trust and teamwork. And along with that, the 7 habits of highly effective people. Creating systems for everything. So, all these tasks that are being done, maybe there's some way of putting a system in place to ease the tyranny of the tasks. And then finally, create an action plan for the next year. That one, no matter what the other ones are, that's usually the most important one, because it's great to discuss all these things, but if you're not going to do something about it, then nothing happens. So those are sort of the items I give as a list that the clients can choose from. And so I'm curious to see, how do you do it for your clients, and how do you do it for yourself? Do you have a retreat for yourself? And if you do, how does it work?
I have
Any
a
thoughts
quick
on that?
question first, Doug. I have a quick question.
Yes.
What is under marketing strategies? What is ta-da?
Oh, ta-da. Yeah. Okay. TEDDA. The first 4 of the marketing strategies are for marketing. The 5th one is really the sales aspect. So in sales, to me, it's just getting a commitment, getting a yes or a no, because then you can move on if it's a no. And listening for ta-da stands for trust. So you establish trust first, then you find the emotional reason they're going to change. The first D is dollars. Do they have the dollars to spend? And the second D is what's their decision process? Can they make that decision? And the A stands for ask. You gotta, sometimes it's ask, action, or activity or something. In other words, what's going to happen next? And usually the ask is basically that, what's going to happen next? Because if you've gone through TEDD, then usually there's enough emotion there that they're saying, yes, I want this. And you just need to say, okay, great. When do we get started? Or how, what do you want to do? And usually they say, well, let's get started, and say, okay, great. Here's what I need. And you say, here's the 3 things I need. I need a start date. I need I need to find out who I'm going to be talking to, and I need a check, and then we're ready to get started.
Cool.
And
I have a question
simple.
too. Or
Yes.
yeah, that's really good what you have there about ta-da. In the creating happiness, the question would be really is, do you partner up with anyone? I would be interested in working with you on creating happiness, if you partner with anyone else in delivering or coaching.
Yes, great idea. I have done that before. Matter of fact, at Steinmart, I had another coach come in and do a program And yeah, so I would be happy to work with you on that. Yeah.
Yes, I just throw it out there, even though, there's certain things that I'm willing to kind of not retire from.
Mhm.
Yes.
Joy, happiness and diversity. So anyway, just throwing that out there whenever it shows up.
Doug, I
I
have a
would love that.
question.
Yes.
Is this like your menu of services or an example for a whole week with a group? Is this something they're choosing from?
It's a menu.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
it says
so
okay,
Yeah, so because it's too much to do
right.
in a day or 3 days or 5 days. I think it's too much to do. And so
Mhm.
normally they go and they check the ones that they want to see, a little checkbox there. So they just check the ones that they want to do.
Great, really looks good.
Thanks, Doug. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
since Caroline sent this out, I'm gonna shamelessly use it.
Yes, please do. Please do. You don't even need to, you can take my name off and put your name on it if you want.
Oh no, no, that,
Doug, do you know kind of in your head about how long each of those sections services are? Like some are like a half day, are they all a half day? Are they 2 hours and then you
Yeah.
figure out charging accordingly?
It all depends. Yeah. Sometimes they say, want to do all this and we want to do it in 2 hours. Okay. And sometimes they'll say, okay, this is a 3-day program, and then we'll be able to choose more items.
Okay.
I know that, de-stress I can do in 20 minutes, but sometimes I really like to do it in an hour or two. The marketing strategies, I could spend 2 weeks on that, because when you get to each question, there's a lot in there.
yes.
Choosing a target market, for
yeah.
instance. There's so much involved there. And I usually recommend 2 target markets. So then that really gets into the demographics and the psychographics. I mean, it really can get complicated, or we can keep it at a high level, and and just determining what to say. The short introductions and the talking points, that can be a several day project, or we can do it in. I've done it in 20 minutes for like a chamber group. So lots of different ways of doing it.
Doug, could you do a full screen again?
Yes.
That's awesome. It's really good timing, Doug. I'm so glad you did this, because I was thinking I need to figure out all these services I'm doing that I'm really enjoying, and put them together in a menu or, a package. So just the visual is helpful. Plus I just paid for Template Tribe. Caroline might be familiar with that. That has all sorts of great templates you can use with Canva, so you can make nice looking things like this. It's really good.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you like it. One of the things I've found with this over the years is that having the menu has helped me an awful lot on
Oh yeah.
on a lot. Yeah. And when I've done this myself, I've picked out 2 or 3 that I'm going to do. The first time I did the retreat for myself, I did it in bed on a Sunday, the Sunday morning, and I don't know if I fixed pancakes for myself in bed, but it was a long process, and so and I had to have, I think it was 5 people there. They were all me, but I had the king, I had the marketer, the person who was doing the operations, the business and finance guy was there, and so I guess those were the 4 that I had there in bed with me, and they were all having to make commitments to me to say, so marketing, what are you going to do this year different from last year that's going to make this year much more successful? And so and the commitments that that he, the marketer, Doug Wilder, had to make were significant. So, and even signing a sheet that says, yes, I promise to make this many calls or do whatever it takes to be successful. So coaching yourself, as you know, is a hard thing to do. So any thoughts on this concept? Any improvements you'd like to make upon it?
I like it because I like the one for de-stressing. If you had a company, you remember years ago, they used to have retreats for employees. I don't know if they still have them. There was a park that I would say maybe suggest a daytime park, a picnic,
Yes.
with all the people, and just kind of, again, it goes back to the fun aspect of just relaxing and being yourself, and then maybe having a discussion, but it kind of breaks the ice if you can do a retreat in a park or have a picnic, or even a camping weekend in cabins or something like that, depending on what the client can afford, if it's a company. And sometimes you may want to take all your executives out and do a cabin weekend camping.
Yeah. One client, we went for kayaking.
Oh, fun.
And then after kayaking, we came in and then we had, this was out at Fort Caroline. It was at, I think it was Fort Caroline. No, it was across the river, Little Talbot Island, and Fort George. And afterwards we came in and we did some more. I think we spent probably 2 days working on the retreat. So some companies will really, and actually that person who was doing it was bucking the corporate world. Her corporate executives were saying, why are you spending all that time punching pillows? You don't need to do a retreat. Just tell people go to get to work. And she did it differently. And it turned out that she had the best branch in the nation after doing it. So the best results.
Wow.
So she proved them wrong and herself right, that retreats really work.
Sure they do. It establishes another part rather than just the work example of a person. You see another side of a person. We used to do that when I worked with kids, and we, the counselors, on every other Friday or something like that, we would go into the meeting room of our place and just play a game, and we would team up or make, we would play like Pictionary,
Yeah.
and it was just fun. We got to know each other more on a personal level than just work.
I love that.
I remember doing
Yeah.
a retreat in the last century, as I like to say. The last century, I did a retreat with a major corporation out in California, and the company was merging with a Japanese company. So they had the top executives of both companies, and the owner of the American company had a ranch out in California near National Park. I can't remember which national park it was. So we spent a weekend out there. And this was, of course, when I was younger. So we did, hiking and climbing, and in addition to, of course, going through team building activities, and we spend the whole weekend out there, had our meals. It was the best one. I've done a few retreats, and that was the one that I found to be the best. But then there were big enough company they could afford, to do this. And that was part of it. So that was very nice. Retreats are definitely worth doing. Definitely.
Oh yeah. Team building. It's all about team building. I have a recreation background, so I use that a lot in my old HR position. Like when the Super Bowl was coming to Jacksonville, I was working at a large resort, and we wanted to get all the employees together and really pumped up and psyched for it. So we had all sorts of games and fun. And one of them who'd worked there 20 years said, "This is the best thing we've ever done." Just loved it. So
That's great.
yeah, and I got to plan something for the city of Tallahassee, a full day retreat. Put a lot of work into it, but then the governor's changed that week and budgets were immediately slashed. So I have a great plan, but we just couldn't do it.
Oh, no.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
Duct tape was involved.
Yeah, I've done the ones where there's Legos and sometimes we bring props and you have the king
Yeah.
prop and
Wait a minute.
okay, need to put on the business hat. Oh, the queen. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes, yes,
Yep.
yes.
Gotta have props.
And and we've got
I
all
love it.
kinds of globes, so we sometimes talk about worldly stuff. And I also have, I did one year, I did a magic was the theme. And so I brought in wands for everybody, where they were actually, I went and got, what do you call, oh, here they are. Oh, bamboo chopsticks. So I
Oh.
gave everybody bamboo chopsticks, and that was the swoosh, because Harry Potter was big at that time. And then and so we there was what's your wish became the concept. And then that same year I got this wonderful box that has inside a crystal ball.
That's cool.
And so we could really do some real imagining, like what do you want to see in your crystal ball? What do you want to see in your future?
You have great props. You
So,
get
yeah.
you get an honorary recreation management degree. Of course, mine was called, I have a BS in leisure. That's before they changed the name. So
Wow.
give you that.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
So this little guy, I may have introduced himself to you guys before, but his name is Thesis, and he got me through graduate school.
Oh,
He was a reminder to work on your thesis and get it done.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, that's terrific. Yeah,
And
I need
these,
something like that now.
have y'all seen my pandemic penguin?
yes, I love
Yes, I
those.
love him. He's
So
really
fun.
coming along. Yes, yes, that's beautiful.
So if
Yeah.
we're showing props, the only one I
Yes.
have is Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I bought this
Wow.
earlier this year. And,
Yeah.
to have as an inspiration, and I'm glad I did buy it,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh.
I have to turn off my phone. Sorry. Sorry about
That's
that.
cute.
Okay.
Talk about props. That's great, Carmen.
Yeah.
So
We can have a
that's-
whole
Yes.
session just on our props.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
We
So,
gotta gamify everything.
yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking about one of the retreats that I had, and I often had the general manager was saying that I was there whispering in her ear about all the things that we had talked about. So and so those things really are powerful. Really become powerful. And so I recommend when you do your retreat, make it bold and make it memorable. Do something unusual, because then you start to remember it. I mean, even when I did my first retreat in bed, and okay, so that to me became a memorable time because it was unusual and it was bold, and we did not take photographic evidence of it. So.
I love it.
That's great. So, yes. So what are you going to do to make sure that your 2021 is outstanding? Ooh.
I'm going to do that. That was one of the things I thought, I've got to package things better. Now that I've been playing with different things I like to do and doing it virtually, I've got a better handle on, what people need and what I enjoy. So, yeah.
Good.
I've
Good.
signed up for some Zoom webinars to make my presentations more engaging. And I looked into Canva and used it for my practicum project for my ACTP program, and presented a class called, or a webinar called Curious About Coaching. And it was sponsored through the JCA. So I was hoping, it would go out to their membership audience and get a lot of attention. But they only sent it out like a week before, and it was attached to other stuff. And I only got some coaching colleagues from the class, but I got my commitment checked off to do the practicum project, and I learned a little bit about Canvas, so that was good. So I'm going to continue to pursue making my presentations better and some online webinars.
Excellent. Good. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else want to make a commitment on what you're going to do?
I'll share something really quick that I'm doing tomorrow. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of an organization called Building Champions. It's Daniel Harvicke's group, Building Champions, and he does a program, and Michael Hyatt has had it also. He has this thing which is basically a life planning tool that he goes through, and he kind of allows you to kind of helps you go through it and coaches you through it and stuff like that. And two sides of it. One is for you to kind of do it. I think it's also a great tool that I'm starting to try to figure out how to use to help clients. How can I help them build a life plan? How can I have them think more, long term about what's important in their life and stuff like that? What's their different buckets and stuff like that. So Daniel Harvicke, it's his thing is Building Champions, and I think his let's see here, and his he's doing a webinar tomorrow for this life planning thing. So if you want more information, you can email me. Also, I can send you the link and stuff like that as well. But I think it's just something that they can go into the new year. And I also am a big proponent of, I use the week after Christmas to really dive into what my new year is going to be, put in the big rocks, like Covey says, and start to build out my calendar for the year. And I think that's really helpful for me to kind of think about and plan out my goals, and also my calendar, kind of give an idea what's going to take place and stuff like that for the big things, basically. So those are things that I'm looking forward to.
Excellent. It's good.
I was just sitting here thinking about what Brian was saying too, because I'm a retired vet. I might be contacting different organizations to maybe help coach some vets. There is a female organization for veterans. So but they're on the west side of Jacksonville, and for me that's a bit of a distance. I was going to go to one of their meetings, so I may make up my mind to go ahead, go to one of their meetings, and see if any of the lady vets need any kind of coaching.
And that's a big thing. I think you're spot on, because that's a untapped area where there's a lot of females who are struggling a lot of times coming out of the military, and they could use somebody to listen to and stuff like that for sure. The USO has a great program. If you talk with them, USO Pathfinder program, and if you reach out to them here locally, you could at least find out more about what's out there. There is tons of organizations around here. ESGR is a group that's kind of geared towards the Guard locally here, the National Guard. And like you said, the women's group there, there's tons of stuff that's available for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, and again, if you want to know more, or if you want to pick my brain, you got my email, please reach out to me.
Okay, would you flash that one more time, Brian?
Yeah, it's in the chat, but it's Brian Burt, B-U-R-T, B-R-Y-A-N, B-U-R-T 88 @gmail.com. So give me and my cell phone number is 808-780-9302. And if you guys got questions about that, anything within the area of military, I can definitely help you with that.
Okay, thanks a lot.
That's excellent. Also, I may have Ursula Stein get in touch with you, Lindley and Brian, because she was telling me yesterday that she wants to focus on veterans, and she's more doing the training or maybe group programs, but not the individual programs. So she was hoping that she could use some of us to help with the coaching beyond the training that she does.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Oh,
look
good.
forward to that, Doug. I really would like to get in touch with her.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Excellent.
Doug, I like to participate if it's more, I don't know if I can, if it's more like life coaching or counseling. I wouldn't have any expertise, but if there's anything to do with careers, I'm happy to support.
Perfect. That's great. Yeah. And I think now is a perfect time for that emphasis, because people are going through a big shift right now. A lot of people have been furloughed, right, Brian? And they've got to decide what's their next step. And some people who have come back to their company and they're thinking, shucks, I'm not being appreciated. The company wasn't loyal to me, and what's the future going to be like? So
Or they don't want to go back to their company because they want to look for stuff that is more remote. They want to look for, they don't want to get out into the workforce right now. Really, they want to be something where they can do it from home and stuff like that a lot of times too.
Yes. Yeah. In the last 2 days, actually just yesterday, I had 2 people come up to me at 2 different events saying that they want to start their own company. They want to do something different. What is their future going to be like? So I think timing is right for coaching and assisting with their career. So good timing. Good. Any other commitments that people can make as far as their 2021 outstanding action plan?
Mine is just to chill.
Retire.
I want to just focus on what I really want to do. And right now is the diversity, the happiness piece. And, I am at a place where if I want to work with this person, okay, I'll work with them. Or if the date sounds good to me, okay, I'll do that. But I'm just really just not, and I want to connect with family. I've got a couple of family members who are very ill. And because of the pandemic, we have Zoom meetings, but still, unfortunately, we can't see each other in person or fly like I used to, or drive to where they are, because then there are other states. So, the old cliche, I'm going to focus on my siblings. I'm the oldest of 5, but 2 of them have serious illnesses. I want to, connect with them,
That's
sure.
nice. Yeah, that's nice.
That's my plan.
Carmen, you're going to love being more retired and more to yourself and do what your heart tells you to do. Be with your siblings, because to me, you've worked so long that this is what we look forward to. This is our reward.
Yeah, and I don't have hobbies. It's like people, I don't have a job. I had a passion. I think I've said this before. People retire from a job because they look forward to playing golf or knitting or whatever it is. I don't have any of those hobbies. My hobbies are all intellectual. I read constantly. I want to write, so that's it. I just want to enjoy the earth. I want to enjoy humans. So that's my thing. It's not that I want more time to do an activity in a sports-like thing or a hobby. I want to connect with humans and with nature and with myself. That's what I want to do in the coming year.
And you've earned it. Yeah. I find that I've always wanted to write. And now what I'm thinking, I'm going into this thing where I just have these thoughts that come to me and I write them down. And I said, oh, I can call that inspirational thoughts because it just comes to me every now and then.
Mhm.
And I'm finding a way to get that message out there. It's just little short little sentences, little quips. And I'm developing a way to get those things out there. So
Mhm,
not sure if it's going to be a t-shirt or what.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well, people have always asked me in my classes, do you have a book? And I thought, oh, I don't know, I'll write one when I retire. And then I'm kind of semi-retired, but the book may come out. I don't know. I have written enough stuff that I could have enough chapters for a book. I just,
do it. Do it.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
if I,
Yeah.
I used to think, I even go to writing workshops, actually, but the reason I go to the writing workshops is because they're held in interesting countries. So I did a workshop in Italy, and it was beautiful. It was last year. This year we were supposed to go to Rome. Of course, that didn't happen, but I've been to Costa Rica a couple of times for writing workshops. So I don't know if it's the writing or the location that draws me there. So I've got enough knowledge and ability to do this stuff. It's a matter of whether the discipline to do it. And then
Okay, everybody, let's hold her accountable. Let's hold her accountable. What can you do within a month's time?
I know. I don't like the pressure. So I'll get around to
No
it.
pressure.
Okay, no pressure.
The thing that was before, and I know I got disavowed of this belief, but it's what can I write? It's been written already. And one of the people in my classes said, there are only 7 notes, and think of all the music that's been written.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
No,
Very
Mm.
good.
only,
Awesome.
you can create any kind of combination of words. You cannot let the fact that there's only so many words or so many, whatever, hold you back.
And even like the same story told by someone else isn't the same story that's being told,
Yeah.
Right.
because we all have a different perspective.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I used to think, I don't have anything new to say. It's been said, and if I write it, who's going to read it?
So look how many people have asked you, do you have a book?
Yes, I
What
get
you're
asked. that.
saying, that's your inspiration right there.
Yeah. Good.
That's so cool. What a legacy that would be.
That would be
Yes.
yeah. Thank you. Okay. Well, I've had my sweetheart just brought me some apple for me to eat. Isn't that lovely?
Oh, wow.
I'm
Whoa.
holed up here I have lots of people outside of this room. We have a newer air conditioning system, but you know how much that is, the whole, thousands of dollars. My whole air conditioner fell apart last week. So that's being installed. I have somebody else doing some other work. And so, cloistered in this room, lots of activity outside of this room, but he brought me apple.
Nice, nice. Whoa.
I've got to get ready for my next appointment, so I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody, and I look forward to seeing everybody next month, the next meeting. I have a 1:30 meeting, so.
Right, great.
Thanks for
and
having
great
this,
meeting.
Doug, always thanks, I
Yeah.
appreciate
All
it.
right, great.
Thank you.
We'll be back in January 4th and January 5th.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
everybody
you
have a
again, Doug.
safe and wonderful holiday.
You too.
Thank
Great.
you,
Bye.
bye.
So one of the things we might be thinking about is what do we want to talk about January 4th and January 5th? So keep that in mind. And for the subsequent months too, like the different programs, the classes and the certifications that you can get would be a good one. And so if you have other concepts that you're just dying to hear about, or maybe living to hear about, then it'd be great to hear those.
Legislative session to allow for signature match.
Cool.
Pay no attention to the voice behind the curtain
Yeah, my phone
or
went off
under
here,
the
sorry
desk. It's okay.
That's right. Yeah, I think we all next year will get cough buttons. How about that?
Yeah. Hey, Doug, thanks for having these virtual, continuing to do this. I know it's more work to try to plan 2 things, but I'm still inside and I'm only going to meetings that are virtual. So I appreciate the extra effort.
Yeah,
that
good.
Yeah, me too.
Carolyn are
I
taking.
do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad that this is here for us to stay connected. I am definitely getting out and meeting more people now, and I'm finding every time I go out, I either, not that I get a client, but if there's enough people there, usually there's at least some interest, just every time I go out. So it's so I think we're in the right field at the right time, and when people start meeting, I think for me, one-on-one just works so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had a year like this year when I couldn't meet with people, and therefore it just didn't work from a getting new client basis. But for me, but now it's starting to work more now that I'm getting back out there. So it's good. Yes. So anything else? Anybody else have a plan or an action plan for 2021 to talk about? One of the things I'm doing is on Thursday and Friday, I've been invited to the 12 Mavens program, Attack the Plan, I think it is. And so I've never been to one of those before. Yes, plan the attack. Sorry, not attack the plan.
I like that one. I like the way you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, attack the plan. Sure, makes sense. So this is Plan the Attack, and so I'll find out what that's all about. I've been hearing about it for years. The 12 Mavens with Jeff Davis. Have any of you been to those before? No?
Heard of it, not been to it.
Okay, great. So so I'll be going to that to find out what that's about. I'm just looking at some of the other things that I'm working on. There's a SBRN luncheon. Any of you in the Small Business Resource Network? No. Okay. Well, that's
Spoken at it.
Yeah, you have. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's coming up, and the Jack's Chamber is doing an all council party on the 16th. So so if you're a member of Chamber, even if you're not a member of Chamber, you could probably sneak in. There's just fine. Because I think the more that we get out there and present ourselves, the more business will be drummed up for coaches.
So Doug, are people pretty good about wearing masks and social distancing? What's it like? What's it like out there, Doug? Tell us.
Yeah, yes, some are. It's interesting. The meeting I went to last night, everybody was masked up. You almost had to be to come in. Matter of fact, I came in, didn't quite have my mask on yet, and they were sort of waiting for me to get my mask on before they gave me the hand lotion, and then I don't think they took my temperature there, but most places I go, they take my temperature before I enter.
Mm-hmm.
And wear a mask up until the time you're eating. When you're eating, you don't have to wear one, or sitting at a table if you're distanced apart. I'm finding that I'm more concerned about what it looks like. So I'll wear a mask because of what it looks like, as opposed to the actual fear of the COVID itself. So that's interesting. When I do a radio program, I co-host a radio program, and so when I walk through the lobby to go to the elevator to be the co-host, I just hold my breath as I walk through, and I just walk through very quickly and smile and wave, and so then I don't wear a mask. So there are, I think there's different protocols, different places.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are shaking hands. Some people are bumping fists, elbows. Yep, yep. A lot of people are bumping elbows. So I think we're just sort of, I think it's in the olden days, before most of your time, there was a time when you wouldn't shake, a man wouldn't shake a woman's hand unless she extended it first.
Exactly. That was the
Oh,
protocol.
yeah.
That
Oh,
was the protocol. That's
Listen,
right.
I'm gonna have to go. So thank you very much. I will see you all next year.
Yes, yes. Love you.
take care, Carmen.
Thank
See you,
you.
Carmen.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so protocols have changed a little bit in that you don't shake somebody's hand unless they stick it out there. Or if you stick out your hand and they put out an elbow, you bump the elbow. So it's everybody's I haven't found anybody who's not respectful.
Right.
By the way, there's a Sevi has entered the waiting room. Is this Sevi somebody that we know and trust? Anybody know a name by Sevi? Okay,
I
we're
would
gonna let
not,
him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been letting them sit because they're not on our SVP list, and I don't know how they would have ever gotten our link unless
Okay.
they RSVP'd online. So I'm just letting them sit.
Thank you very much, Caroline. That's,
Ooh,
That's
this meeting was about to get interesting.
Yeah.
yeah. We can let them in just to see what happens. No,
Not on my
don't.
watch.
We could do some group coaching.
Oh,
Why do you choose to do these things you're doing?
yeah.
Right, that's right. Yeah, Sevi,
Wow.
I saw them earlier wanting to get in, and I looked them up, and Sevi means in some foreign language, it means wolf. So you don't let the wolf in.
Yeah, no, nope.
Yeah, all right, great. So good. So 2021, it's here. It's yeah, go out and make things happen. Be bold. Plan it, and even if the plans don't come to fruition, at least having a plan helps.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. What was it that Einstein said, Caroline?
Einstein?
No, I'm not
Like
Einstein.
he said a lot of things.
Yes. Okay, then let's go to Eisenhower then.
I think it's something like plans are useless, but planning is essential.
There you go. Very good. Thank
Yeah.
you. You didn't even have to look it up.
It's not a word for word. It's a rough translation.
That's pretty. I think you used the word critical in there. So yeah. So put together a plan, and make it a bold 2021. Make it outstanding. Okay.
Sounds good.
Good. Well, go forth and conquer. Any other words of wisdom for us?
Hmm.
Do y'all want to see, we're talking about hobbies, something I've made before I put it in the mail?
I would love that. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
It'll take me 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
That's all of you saw her penguins from before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's been making penguins. She does quilting. So all these little hobbies that she does from her home. So I don't know what she has for us today.
So I took a class to learn how to make villages with little tiny windows and doors and so forth, tiny out of fabric. And my
Cute.
daughters said they wanted specific ones. So Jessie wanted London at night, and that's already been shipped to Charlotte, so I can't show it to you, except maybe on my phone. And Emma has been to the coast of Italy, and she wanted Cinque Terre.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Did you-
beautiful.
Did you paint that?
So you can see tiny boats and buildings.
Oh, I
And
love
then-
those buildings. I want to go there.
And then that's like little fabric cut out to look like rocks on this archipelago.
Yeah.
And then that frothy looking stuff, the surf is made out of cheesecloth. So I had so much fun making this.
Wow.
Very beautiful.
The whole thing's
That's all made. It's all cloth, right? You didn't.
all cloth. And the little pieces aren't stitched together, but they are held down with just a little dot of fabric glue. And then you put tulle over the whole thing, which is like a netting. And then you stitch. So all the little windows are stitched around, all the little doors are stitched around, the little umbrellas, the boats, everything is all stitched down. And then it's
How much time does that take you?
A whole pandemic.
yeah. No, this was probably 3 evenings or so. There's my label.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that
Oh,
fun?
that's amazing.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of work. I'm impressed.
And then it got quilted over. So I'm excited. I think she's gonna love it. And I did two little loops of ribbon so that she can, put a little
Yes.
dowel through it to hang it.
Oh, boy.
So that's my younger daughter. And Jessie got London at Night, which is a big bin and the river and some round parts of a bridge and other buildings. And then the reflections on the water. Let me see if I can find that in my email, in my photos. Because the reflections on the water, that was a big challenge. And I had to really play with it to, yeah, here it is. So can y'all see that?
The same
Yeah.
thing, the stitch, right?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
Big Ben and it's stitched. And that's a beam of light aimed at Big Ben.
Oh, wow.
And then all the little reflections on the
Yeah,
wall,
the reflections. It's so good.
the little lights and stuff. It was so much fun. So these
Mm.
really branched way off from the villages I'd been making. Mom asked for Greece a while back. I don't know that I could pull that up fast enough, but here's an example of one of my villages. Aren't they fun?
That's
Oh,
beautiful.
Yes, they're very nice.
So they're all like, 12 by 14 or 14 by 16, or, they're not that big. But they keep me off the streets, and keep me focused. I'm not
That's great.
coaching. If I'm not coaching, I'm quilting.
Yes. What a balanced life you have.
I'm having fun. I really am.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yes. So, well, I recommend that we all go out and get some hobby or a gift of some sort. I gave my granddaughter a pot or a pot that you then put in seeds, dirt and seeds, and these beautiful plants grew out. Of course, a caterpillar came and ate them.
No.
But we're going to try it again. So yeah, good. It's a good idea to have a balanced life.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
make sure that your outstanding 2021 also includes wonderful new features.
Oh,
I read 90 books this year for
wow.
my hobby.
Wow.
Great.
That's
That's
amazing.
cool.
Mhm.
I probably saw 90 movies.
I saw 90 cooking shows.
Oh, yeah.
Hallmark movies over and over again.
All right, everybody, I'm going to bail, but
Yeah.
I love you guys and I will wish you a happy Hanukkah,
holidays.
Christmas, Happy
Yeah.
New Year, and see you in
Yes.
January, if not
Mhm.
before.
Excellent. Great.
See
Bye,
y'all.
everybody.
All right,
Bye,
good.
y'all.